Today we're going to talk about estate sales. First, we'll go over why you should even go to an estate sale. Then we'll go over how estate sales work. And lastly, I'll go over some tips and advice that might help you, whether it's your first estate sale or you've gone to many in the past. I'll share some of the pieces I've collected to give you some inspiration around what you might expect to find at one. Let's get into it. Estate sales are a great way to save money across a variety of categories. When we first moved into our house, we were initially looking for more furniture pieces at estate sales. It was a great place to find nice quality items and more unique pieces and get a great deal. That has evolved over time into looking for more home decor items. Let's talk about how estate sales work from the perspective of the seller. So I'm going to summarize from this article called The Ultimate Estate Sale Pricing Guide. Organizers of estate sales sell everything in the household. It's really important for them to get pricing right. They want to price things so that they aren't too high. Typically, estate sales don't price things at the same level as current market price. They price them less, but they also don't want to mark them too low so that they're able to make their clients as much money as possible and ending up with as few items at the end. Estate sales are held over the course of a few days. On the first day, things are usually marked full price. On the second day, usually discounted 25%. And on the last day, they're typically discounted 50%. Let's dive a little deeper into how estate sales work from your perspective as someone who wants to go to one. If you haven't been to an estate sale, a great way to find out about any in your area are to go to estatesales.org or estatesales.net. You can enter your zip code and it will show you results for estate sales near you. Then if you click on one of the estate sales near you, you'll see some details about that specific sale coming up. That will usually include the date, the location, and also details about what will be at the estate sale along with pictures. So typically the description highlights the types of items that will be at that sale. It'll highlight things like whether someone was a car enthusiast or an art collector or some other hobby that they had and a collection that they might have as a result. Before an estate sale, the organizers will stage things so that they're grouped together and organized. The pictures typically show things after they've been staged, so you'll be able to see all the kitchen items laid out, all the bathroom items, and get a sense for what will be at that sale. I'll go over ways you can plan ahead and some tips. So generally speaking, I like to have a running list of things that I'm looking for so that when an estate sale is coming up, I can start by going through the description and the photos to see if there's anything that I'm looking for. And so that I don't forget, I have that running list that I can use as a reference. I like to have that list pretty detailed, have the specific size noted. If I see a tablecloth, for example, at an estate sale, I know the dimensions that I'm looking for so that I don't waste money and buy something that might be the wrong size. Same thing with things like pillow covers and even coffee table books. I like to be really specific about the sizes that I'm looking for, but that's just me. I'm very detailed like that. After going through the photos and the description, I like to make a note of all the things that I'm interested and stack rank them against each other so that the day of the estate sale, I know what I'm trying to go for first and not miss out on those things if I really want them. But I also like to make that list so that I'm able to price things out beforehand as much as possible. So if I recognize brands or products on the pictures or on the description, I like to go and look them up. You know, if it's something vintage, I'll go to Cherish or eBay or just do a quick Google search to see if I can find what that vintage item has sold for in the past. If it's something that you could still find in a retail store today, I like to do the same thing. So I like to use that list to decide what day I'm going to go to the estate sale. If there's something I really don't want to miss out on, I know I'm going to go on the first day and try to be the first person in line. If it's something that I say, you know, it would be a nice to have, but I'm not going to go out of my way to try and get it, and maybe I want a deal on it, then I'll go on the second or on the last day. If it's still there, great, and if it's not, I'm okay with missing out on that item. Estate sales typically start around 9 a.m. So if I want to be the first person in line, I know I'll have to be there well before then. Note that sometimes there might be lines to get into the estate sale. Plan your schedule accordingly. There have been times that I've been in line 30 minutes before I've gotten into the house. Also keep parking in mind. The day of the estate sale, if you are planning on getting some bigger pieces and you end up finding them, think beforehand about how you are going to transport any items that you find that are bigger. Lug is a great service that allows you to book a mover on demand. Typically, you're able to hire someone to show up within 30 minutes or schedule them to come by in advance for a specific 1-hour window. One of the first estate sales we went to, the console that we found, we did not know about Lug at the time, and I had a Mini Cooper. We transported that big console in that Mini Cooper. I don't recommend being in that situation. Think ahead, bring the right car or use Lug, and if you do use your car, buy some tie downs, bring some towels and some blankets that will help you protect your car. Now let's talk a little bit about negotiating. Negotiating is something that I always recommend you do. On the first day, it's possible to negotiate, but it's not the day where I've had the most success. The last day is the day that I negotiate the most. That's where they really want to make sure that they sell as many things as possible. And I've set aside the things that I want to buy. I think about what are the things that I'm okay with not getting and the things that I do want to get and the most I'm willing to pay for them after factoring in the 50% off. One of our favorite outdoor pieces is this wrought iron dining set that we found at an estate sale. My father-in-law spotted it. He went and did his thing and negotiated it for us to $100. So we got this beautiful vintage wrought iron piece that is going to last our lifetime, if not longer. If you missed the last video, I mentioned the Packard Bell console table that I got for $40. To this day is still one of our favorite pieces. In total, for $177.50, we got 2 solid wood dressers that were in really great condition. We also found our nightstands at an estate sale. They're solid walnut. They have a really nice opening that hides everything when closed, but can serve as more surface when you use them on a regular nightly basis. I typically like to find more vintage home decor pieces at estate sales, but I recently went to a couple of estate sales that had a lot of great newer pieces. So let me share those with you. I like to look at the linens at estate sales. I got these 2 pillow covers. They're Restoration Hardware. If you look up how much Restoration Hardware throw pillow covers cost, they're not cheap. I was really excited when I saw these because they tie in with the color palette that I have for our living room. They also had some linen ones that I took the risk waiting the second day and they were taken. I thought that these had a chance of still being there the last day because they were gray, and I know that we're all moving towards wanting more warm neutral colors. So I took the risk and they were there the last day. They were originally listed for $8 each, so on the last day I got them for $4 each. And the pillow inserts were still there too. The pillow inserts were only $5 each. Pretty sure these are Restoration Hardware down-filled pillows. I got 2 lumbar pillow inserts and 1 square pillow insert. They were $5 each. Instead of the 3 pillow inserts costing $15, I got them for $7.50. And I got the 2 Restoration Hardware pillows for, instead of $16, for $8. So for $15.50, I got 3 pillow inserts and 2 pillow covers. I have Crate and Barrel pillow inserts, and this one that I think is from Restoration Hardware feels so much nicer. It looks like it's double lined, the fabric. The point of the feathers, I can't really feel them as much on these as I do with the Crate and Barrel one, so such a great find. I got this ivory tablecloth that looked like it wasn't even used once. I got it for $8. And I got this Crate and Barrel table linen, and I got this little throw blanket for $10. This one actually wasn't a great deal. I ended up finding it on Amazon for $14 new, so the savings wasn't huge, but this was something that I thought I would really enjoy. It's 100% cotton as well. I saw these crystal bookends at an estate sale on the last day. They were marked $35, so with the 50% off, they would come out to $17.50. When I went to pay, I said, would you be willing to take $15 for these? I had the $15 in my hands. That's another tip, is just keep the amount of cash on hand that you're willing to pay for an item, and then it just looks like that's all you might have. Offer the amount that you would be happy to pay for that item. The worst thing that's going to happen is that they're going to say no. And even if they say no, I like to ask, is there a price under the 50% off that you're willing to take? And then if they say no again, then I think about whether or not I really want that piece. And if I do, I'll pay for it. And then if I don't, then I'll walk away. So this is one of my all-time favorite home decor pieces that I've ever gotten at an estate sale. This bowl makes me so happy because it reminds me of one of the first estate sales I went to. I went to the estate sale with my mother-in-law and we had a lot of fun picking up a few things that day. I also really like this bowl because of the story of the artist, Jade Snow Wong. This was 1958. She's someone who I really admire and whose story really resonates with me. She's the child of 2 immigrants, and she talks a lot about the challenges in her journey pursuing something that was in the arts and unconventional. So it's a piece that has a lot of meaning to me and something that I think is very beautiful. Coffee table books. This one in particular jumped out at me because I'm from the Bay Area. This other one is about Tiffany's. I like to have books that are something I would want to open and reference, but that are also pretty. So these ended up having beautiful linen covers on the inside. Don't put your candles, I did that. This was in mint condition before I put a candle on it. So here, another very pretty linen cover on the inside. So I got both of these for, I think, $12 along with the coffee table books. One of my newer favorite pieces that I found for next year around the holidays are these little miniature Christmas trees. I really wanted these, but I didn't want to pay the first day price. The first day that they were there, I thought about getting them, but then I saw that people weren't really going for them and I thought I had a shot at getting them the second day. So I said, I'll wait, and I was really hoping that they would still be there the next day. I got these on the second day for $16.50. They would have been $22 on the first day. These reminded me of the trim on this fireplace. These are some of my favorite types of things to find. Something that is both more unique, that aren't at the same retail stores, and also is high quality. Pretty sure these are solid brass. You can see through the metal, and it doesn't look like a coated steel. It looks to me like brass, and I really am excited to use these. These are pieces that I spent more on than what I think people would typically think of getting at an estate sale. It felt like really nice quality. They were really heavy. Something I like to do if I can't identify it beforehand is at the estate sale, I try to find any markings that indicate what the brand might be or what it is. The pair was listed for $75 and then the bigger one was listed for $45. So it was $120 if I wanted all 3 on the first day. On that first day, I said I was willing to pay the full price for just this one. I didn't want to miss out on this one. So I took this one home and I was hoping that these would be there the second day, but was okay if they weren't there. I ended up getting these 2, this one on the first day and these 2 on the second day. These didn't have any markings on them. So what I did was look for iron tapered candle holder, iron skinny tapered candle holder. I was able to find these. They're from Viva Terra. They're handmade iron tapered candle holders. I think the pair of these 2 are still listed for $179. I couldn't find this exact one, but I found a similar pair on the same website for $199 for a pair of the taller ones. So something like this would have retailed $300. I got it for $100. It's something that, again, I'm not always buying pieces like this. I saw it as a forever home decor piece that I was willing to pay for. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope there was something helpful for you. My name is Melba, and this channel focuses on all things that go into making a home, from interior design tips to sharing our home renovation journey to sharing ways we save money in our household.